What's happening, family? Blessed Sunday. Come rock with me. I've been learning so much game. And they done messed up and made me really dangerous, because I know how that game works, man. And when I start breaking these things down and we start controlling it, and those who don't normally get funded and who don't normally get themselves to have a platform get one, we're gonna change the game. And I'm gonna get that to y'all. For those who've been patient with me, inshallah, I put myself in position to make sure that y'all in position. Let me turn this down. So listen, I haven't noticed, I be traveling around, I be going to different locations. It's Grammy weekend. And I got access, cause people who rock with me, you feel me? They invite me to things. And this is what y'all need to understand, that it's really a tribal movement out here. It's a tribal movement out here. The real ones are those who are aligned based on their values and their ethics. And that's how we be mobbing. That's how we be connecting with different people. You feel me? And we get to play the game. So now we at this point where, I learned the game. And so when I go around different places, I can see the bullshit. Because, my bro be giving me the game on how the venture capital work, how the advertisement works, right? How the funding work, how much people get paid in these different positions, right? How this diversity, equity, inclusion works, right? How these organizations work and how they essentially controlled by institutions. You feel me? Like and we already knew that, but it's different when you can see the money trail itself. And there's a theme about that I've been learning as well, is that there's this disconnect between those who think that they are so-called conscious, and even some those are 5%, but they don't even understand the structure of the game to play it and or to defeat it or break it down. The things that we do, and this is what I've been learning, like what we do is so extraordinary. And, you get a sense of knowing what you do is great because how much work it takes. But when you're so busy doing it, you're not tripping. But the initiatives that these companies be putting together, financial literacy, mental health, mental awareness, all of these buzzwords that they throw around, man, they doing the minimum just so that they can put it on their books to say that something was done. But they be throwing millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars around easily, right? Easily, and still getting 0% results. And the things that we do, they be baffled by it, and sometimes they be afraid of it because they like, you make me look bad at my job. How are you able to get results that we spend millions on, right? And so when I look at the game a lot of times is that we are too uninformed, ignorant sometimes, right? And especially unorganized, right? To actually know how to go about creating the changes. Right? Case in point, right? And I learned that the hard way, because I be really thinking, like, I find myself complaining about something. How come they don't come to me? How come they don't do this? And it's like, bro, your business not even set up on the back end to accept that. Your infrastructure not even set up. You don't even know the CMO of this marketing group. You don't know this CEO over here. You don't know whose job is this. And it's like, so now when you be moving, it's like, I really be complaining about my own ignorance. Shout out to him 500. I be complaining about my own ignorance, not the actual institution, right? And so there's so many people who can't even understand that, because the game is played on so many levels, especially when you're talking big money. Big money only want to hear big money. That's it. But people, you let off your ignorance when you sound the alarm. But at the same time, there's a game to be played, because if you do have control over media, narrative is so powerful that you can change the game to your rules. So there's this twofold thing, that the complaining itself can create a narrative to where the rules change to acquiesce right to the protests. But then there's this thing to where people don't even know how to, they're really complaining about you not having a lack of or proper understanding or the protocols or the rules to learn how to play the game itself. Right? And in reality, nobody is blocking you. But there's a level of, I don't even like the word networking because this is bigger than networking. You feel me? But there is a level of networking that most people would never do. And this is why you can never get to a certain point. But we are in a time, for those who understand it, go understand it. I ain't talking in parables. I'm really speaking straight up. But I'm only speaking to those who understand it at this point. Right? If I need to make it plain to you, this is not your language right now. And it might not be your level yet. You feel me? It's not your level yet. That's it. When you get to this level, and when you have this level of, and when I'm saying level, I'm talking about power. When you have power and you put yourself in position and you can move around the world and you have the ability to see the infrastructure behind the scenes, then you can go about building and creating your own infrastructure. You can look at the talent that these companies have and you can say, okay, who is in a position? How much are they paying these people? You know, good companies, they do what they call poaching. They go and steal talent so that those people can work for them, because you realize the company is the infrastructure. It's the people who work for them. So when we be going about, because, you know, we building a lot of things that I don't want to say yet. But when we go about and we realize that we have all of the influence, Black Americans, specifically Black male Americans, are the most influential group in America. And I'm talking about over GDP. I'm talking about over spending power. I'm talking about over economics. But the thing is, and it's been reports done on this, and we've been knowing this, but now we know it for a statistical fact. It's just the people with the most influence have the least amount of money. Why is that? The reality of it is that's because you do not have the proper infrastructure. So there's a lot of talented people who work at these corporations, and they wish that they could make a difference, but shit, they can't leave because there's nobody to hire them. So what happens if you have a liquidity event? What happens if you get an infusion of capital, millions of dollars, and you're able to go and get the talent, plus you already have the influence, you can build the infrastructure. There's almost no goddamn business on this planet Earth that you can't compete with. But what happens is you get so powerful that you have an influence over the economy and politics in such a way, right, that you become unstoppable and everybody got to bow down to you. And this is specifically why they don't want to see Black men in power. It's the only group that they fear in power. I don't care about no other group. Shout out to my sisters, but they don't fear you all in power. They fear Black men in power. Because we are the most watched group on the planet Earth. There's literally, right, studies that show people watch Black male content longer than any other content out there on the internet. We capture the attention of the world. So imagine if you got the attention, you have the influence, you have the infrastructure, the resources, the network. You are an unstoppable machine naturally. You are the only group on this planet that they fear rising and realizing their own power. The only group. You are the last to come in power, but you are the first that were in power. And so when you are empowered and we empower each other in a simplistic way to empower each other, man, look, you got network skill set. Hold on. Not even just that. You have access to budget resources, right? And this is the game that's not really played on the infrastructure level, because our frustrations only mean so much. But without the budget and the infrastructure and the connections, our frustrations will continue to be protests that do not have power behind it. So the goal for me now is, how do we connect the economics to the protests? And how do we give those who have the influence infrastructure so that they can create sustainable wealth building. 30% of students in 2019 said that they wanted to be YouTubers. That was before 2020. I'm sure the statistic probably around 50% because they see that they can utilize content as a career opportunity to make money. But we know that the CPM rates on YouTube is so low that, you know, and the censorship on a lot of these platforms is so high that black men can't even speak the way that they need to be themselves in order to create a sustainable living. We are the most censored group. And when you rise in position, of course, you become attacked. But here's the thing. That's why we, and you know, our influence, and this is what we have to understand as black men, and specifically black men and women. We are always trying to influence each other. We're always trying to influence each other, which I get. But our true power is influencing the world. Understand that. The true power is that we have the power to influence everybody. But a lot of times when you become the quote-unquote black, the business or personality or talent or thing, sometimes your influence gets stuck in this sphere. Now, a white influencer do not mind influencing black, Asian, orange, whatever color, right? They don't mind having them on the platform. They don't mind taking the audience base. They do not mind. You think Joe Rogan only shares influence over whites? No, he has a large base of black people who watch him. Donald Trump don't just influence whites. He has a large base of black supporters who are going to vote for him. Biden don't just influence. So the influence sphere has to be outside of just your comfort circle. And once you intentionally target, we influence the world, but we're not intentional the way we go after. They are intentional in the way that they come at us. It's real. They say, okay, no, we need the black audience. They have biggest sellers, consumers, blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what we're going to be doing, Shaka Bars. Connecting advertisers to these people so that they can make money. Because we can't get nowhere. We got to go through like a 10, 20 year phase. Like you feel me? To like 2044 of getting our values, our ethics, our morals, and our money together. We have to be strengthening, empowering, networking, communicating with each other. It's going to take a couple of decades before we ready and in position to really lead ourselves. And a lot of that is educating and learning the game that's already here. Because there's already infrastructure in place that we can learn. And if we take that and we do it from our perspective, game over. So look, who is that? I think it was Megan Thee Stallion that signed a deal. But she signed a deal where she kept all her masters, right, and her publishing. The days of taking the Leo Conan 360 deals for a lot of black artists, specifically black American artists, and I want to say this because I want to get something to my African audience. And this is something that I want you all to understand. My African audience and the diaspora abroad, you have to understand that they're coming at you next. Yes, we live in a borderless world, right? But you all have such a power and an untapped, right, reservoir of the melanin, because remember, melanin is the battery, right? So when they sell us, they're selling batteries, right? They're selling batteries. They're selling a battery pack that's going to energize everything. So the melanin battery, they going over to Africa to get that battery. They use the battery in America so much. Now these batteries become self-aware and want to empower themselves. And they like, wait a minute, y'all got to pay us more. Y'all want us to empower you. You want us to power up your film? You want us to power up your product? You want us to power up your music? You want us to power up your whole industry, right? So black people in America is like, nah, what the hell? We need to, why am I waiting for you if I'm the power? So people want better deals. People want to do partnerships. Long away from the days where people just happy signing, you know, with a bunch of white folks around the table and they signing over their life. You feel me? And they just happy to get on. But shit, it ain't the same way across the pond. They can go over there to Africa and they can go poach talent And they gonna sign some of them 360 deals. Because they don't understand the game like we understand it. And they like, well, this is we not racist, this is our diversity. This is our equity, this is our inclusion. And black people have been playing so long, you've been fucking up hip-hop so long, that they music vibe for the culture is even better to sell to us. So they like, well, shit, it ain't the kill devil murder music, but it's a new product and we're gonna make a lot of money off of it. So it's like a drug. They went from selling the crack, now they got a whole new drug over there in Africa they about to sell the world. It's better for you too. They like, wait a minute, this is organic, this is vibes. And we even like it better because we like, man, I'm tired of hearing the disruptive static of this music that's constantly peeling off the wound of my trauma, triggering me to constantly be enamored by this. But here's the thing, and this is my warning to all my Africans out there, because I went to the YouTube music for the African artists and I seen it for myself. I seen it for myself. I'm happy for you all. I know what it's like. We know what it's like to be first generation, to a lot of us stepping out of poverty, right? First generation and getting an opportunity coming from nothing. So it's not like you have much of a leg to stand on to say no. Because yes, they're going to give you the loan to help you start the career, put the machine behind you, get you the looks. I just want you to really think about your future. Maybe for your first few years, you may be forced to have to take these type of deals. But I really want you to think long-term game. If you don't think long-term game, you will have the exact same problems that black Americans have had, right? In the music industry. And African artists 10 years from now, 20 years from now, is going to be complaining about how they took these terrible deals, but they the biggest stars in the world ever. And they're not getting their just due. I would like to see when they replace black Americans and they go get somebody from the UK, they go get somebody from Africa to play roles of black Americans. Do you think that they're paying these people more or less? Because it took me a while to figure this out. But I think the reality of it is that it's a money issue. If we get the black American, they understand the power of this role, right? We're gonna have to pay them more. They getting cocky with it. They are already protesting the money. They talking about it everywhere. They got a whole financial movement going on. So they like, man, how about we go get somebody from the UK who normally don't get an opportunity like this, pay them whatever we want to, so we don't have to deal with these cocky black Americans wanting their reparations. You have to understand that we at different points in time. And the devil just opened up the board, made it globally, so he can exploit the globe as he's been doing, right? And this is why it looks like we're going against each other when we really not. It's not you that I'm going against. It's not my African brother. It's not the UK brothers. It's the system and how they exploiting the labor opportunities so they can pay somebody else less that looks like me, but it's not even in connecting to the story. And ain't nobody gonna speak on this. Nobody has spoke on this. Like I said, I've been thinking about this. It's been matriculating in my thought process for a while. I don't want to see my people get played. I don't want to see us in America, the African descendants of slaves, or those who are indigenous to this land, Native American, copper-colored, melanated people, you know, whatever the background is, but Moorish American, I don't want to see nobody get played. I want to see everybody get their just due. Because I don't want to build a future where we steady trying to unwrite the past. I want to be able to focus forward on the future, because we are also in a great time of technological and scientific advancement, and we should be able to be comfortable enough to focus on that to build out better civilizations. But these conversations have to be had, and I'm going to be having a lot of these larger conversations because we're going to be announcing something for the diaspora very soon, inshallah, and we need this. We need this. I like I said, if any of my African brothers and sisters in here, drop a flag, drop your flag. Because we have to do business together. We have to communicate with each other. We have to connect these information. So you need to know what's in this person's contract, what's in that person's contract. So when you going out there, You're making informed decisions. You're making informed decisions. See, they had us separated where we couldn't make informed decisions because we didn't know what was in each other's contract. But I ain't gonna lie, I got the game to give to you. I have the knowledge to give to you, the perspective to give to you, the awareness to where they like, wait a minute, you don't even realize how much. You don't realize how much negotiation power you have. You are the power. Man, look, I built a platform. We got 1 billion impressions. That means this stuff been seen 1 billion times. I talked to some of them advertisers. They like, what? How you do that? I'm like, being myself, using my creative mind. They mind blown by it. I'm like, y'all don't even know. I know talent that just ain't got opportunity. But it'd be way bigger than what's the shit that y'all even throwing at the people. And I don't benefit from not sharing the information. I don't benefit from not sharing the perspective. I'm not in position trying to take advantage of nobody. You may not even know me. And somebody that's in your camp may be watching this and they like, look, let's have this conversation. 19 Keys was talking about this. Maybe we should go about moving differently. And it may be a tweak in the contract. They say you millions of dollars so that you can now go intern, spread that economy, create more jobs, build infrastructure, buy land, create hospitals, schools, right? Whatever it may be. And this is why it's important. Because all the game ain't free. Some knowledge is, I'm going to tell you, it'd be private. And the reason it'd be private because you don't know who you empowering when you're talking to the public. So I might be empowering my people, but I could be unknowingly empowering an executive that's watching this that think they want to tweak it because they like, oh, we hip to their game. And this is why everything don't need to be public. Everything ain't on display. But, you know, it's different. People be acting like everybody watch our level, but some people be acting like they don't. So they ain't got to tell you where they got it from, or they can lie about not being aware. No, man, this is what I be thinking of. This what keep me up at night, how we gonna change the world. And I'm gonna be honest, like I everything that I do, I've done it on my own money. I haven't had not one advertiser ever come to me and pay me directly to do anything. Everything that I've done up until this point has been 100% completely self-funded. 100%. When I say that, how many people you think can even say that have made it to this level? I take all my money and reinvest. All of it. Everything, to pay the team, to travel, to the marketing, to branding, to every single thing. Nobody has written me that damn check. Only person I did good business with was my brother Aristotle. How many people can say that has built a platform like mine? Zero. And I ain't saying it's a bad thing when you get somebody. I'm just saying that I haven't got a single red cent. So when I be listening to people coming up with theories about me, I'm saying, y'all niggas are so off. But what they're telling me is how great I am for doing what I've done myself. Like, y'all don't know y'all empowering me. You telling me that this can't be possible. And I'm telling you it's so. Listen, man, I got to go have a meeting. But I just wanted to leave y'all with that knowledge. Yeah. Peace to the gods.